This is a quick video on what I'm using to keep my water dragon's temporary 40-gallon breeder humidity up. I will be using this with the big vivarium that I'm building, which will be probably another couple months, about a month or two before it's done. It's going to be 6.5 foot tall, 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep. And I've heard a lot of people say good things about these humidifiers, and I've seen a lot of people on YouTube that are doing them. Somebody on cornsnakes.com was asking me exactly how I set this up. Right now, this isn't permanently how it's going to stay. This is just temporary to hold it over until I feel comfortable enough to silicone something permanently in place. So I'm kind of waiting to make sure this thing isn't going to, goof up. Anyways, it's a Walgreens. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's really tight in here. Yeah, it's a Walgreens. I got it. It's $44 and some odd change up here in Alaska, and I think from most people I've been hearing off of YouTube and stuff, they're paying like right around $35. Anyways, there's a plastic piece that is in this hole when you first get them, and it's an adjustable. Actually, it's right here. Basically, when you get this piece is just literally dropped in like that. It's supposed to be to adjust your flow. But what I did is I just pulled it out, just like that. Went to Home Depot and I got this hose. This is only half of it, but took this piece of hose, and if you can see that little lip, you go down like another inch and a half, it stops. There's a flat part that goes farther back and then down. So what I do is I put this in here just barely past that little lip, which is a little difficult to do with one hand. There we go. Get it just past the lip. And then what I do, I take this piece of plastic. Actually, there's two of them. And this is just temporary until I feel comfortable enough to silicone this something in place, which I'm kind of thinking about doing a piece of PVC pipe. Hold on. Thinking about getting a piece of PVC pipe, siliconing it in, and getting it at the right diameter for another piece to run all PVC conduit in the vivarium I plan on building, except for it's probably going to be, I'm not going to glue them in place because I want to be able to tear it down and clean it easy. But as you can see, I just shoved those in there. Okay, I just turned it on. As you can see, no steam's getting, or not steam, but no mist is getting past it. This is like a, I forget what they call it, not hydro, ultrasonic. That's it, ultrasonic. So it doesn't use heat to create the steam. But as you see, nothing gets by. Yet over here, it's flowing out pretty well. And what I've been doing for right now until I get his cage built, whoops, hopefully I just didn't break that light. I just been taking this 2x4 just to hold this in place, and the steam just falls right through the grate. It fills up this whole entire area. Unfortunately right now the only timer I have runs on 30-minute intervals, so it kicks on for 30 minutes and then shuts off for an hour, which will get this up to about 90%, and then about the time it kicks on, it's down to about 60%, and then it'll jump it back up to 90, 95, which I believe it would build up faster, but a lot of this mist comes right back out the top of this thing because it's got a screen top. But for right now, for this being a temporary thing, this is working just fine. There he is there. Very curious. He's been hopping all over this cage while I was getting ready to take this video. Like, what the hell are you doing? So anyways, this is for some of the people off cornsnakes.com. I was kind of telling them in the chat room and in the forum how I was setting up this temporary setup. So some people were asking questions, and this is how I'm doing it. This is the timer. Sorry about this dirty corner. This is the timer. I've got this originally I was going to use, but turns out I can only set it for one time a day. Kicks on once, shuts off once. So this is, I just ended up setting my lights on it. And then I took this timer As you can see, each click is 30 minutes. Each click down is on, each click up is off. So it's 2 off, 1 on, 2 off, 1 on. So it's on basically every hour. It kicks on for half an hour and then shuts off for an hour. Kicks on for half an hour, shuts off for an hour. So for right now, that'll work. I'll probably end up having to get a more expensive one down the road, just because I'd like to be able to set this up to be fully adjustable to the minute when I get the big cage set up. That way I can tweak it to keep his humidity at just the right level. But let me shut this off so you can kind of see. This is the light I'm using for some of you who were asking. It's the Zoom Ed. It's the I believe it was the ReptiSun 5.0. I believe is what it was. Yep, 5.0 UVB bulb. And then the other one, the heat lamp, is a 75 watt, which for now is working fine, but I'll probably end up having to upgrade it when I go to the big cage. And then this one, that's what I'm using for the nighttime bulb. It's a 100 watt, which is a little bit cooler at night in here than during the day, which is fine. But I mean, during the daytime, his heat lamp puts off a lot more heat, but it does keep his basking temperature right at about 82, 83 at night. So it's not bad. Like right now, as you can see, which let's put the timer back on. Right now, and of course you can't see it very well. Right now it's at 87 degrees in his basking spot, 76 inside the cage. And just having that thing on for a few minutes jumped it back up to 75% humidity, which it's due to kick on here in a minute anyways. I just wanted to turn it on to show you how it all works. And this one does have a nice, it has a little nightlight feature which lights up the water kind of blue so you can see the water level. But I filled this thing up yesterday, 7 o'clock at night. All night last night and all day today I had it on 30-minute intervals, so it was on for 30, off for 30, because I was still tweaking with it, trying to get it where I wanted it, and I had to work today, so I didn't realize how high his humidity was staying. But even still, for running on and off on half-hour intervals, this thing is only used, but you know, just a little under half the water. So I imagine once I get him in a sealed or not sealed enclosure, but a closure that's more easier to control the climate, I guess. I don't think it'll have to run as much. But just so you know, I cleaned his water about an hour ago, and he's one of the dirtiest little bastards I think I've had. But he's really cool. Very, very cool personality. Very curious. He's probably about as curious about me as I am about him. He likes to come up, and which another thing, I've read a lot of people say that water dragons are horrible about if you're have them in a glass enclosure, that they bump their nose up against the glass all the time. But sorry about that. That was my 7-month-old in the background. But he has not done that. He comes up to the glass and he'll look out. But I have not yet seen him actually rubbing his nose trying to get out. He just comes right up to the glass and stops and looks at you. So, so far that hasn't been an issue. And I'm not exactly sure how old he is, if it's even a he. But I know he's pretty young. And as you can see, he's pretty curious. But anyways, these videos I make always turn out to be longer than I anticipate. So just want to close this up. That's how I ran this. Very simple. And yeah, that's it.